Little Squid Comics Podcast 2.0, episode 10.
10?
10. Just like that. We're on episode 10. Can you believe it?
X.
What number were we on before?
Is it-
500? Did we go to 500 or was it like 300?
No, maybe 3.
Maybe 3.
Maybe. I don't even think we got as far as Cerebus.
It could be. So anyway,
Is it X or is it 10? Like
10.
Like the new iPhone?
It's
Is
just
it X or 10?
No, it's 10.
Is the iPhone 10?
The iPhone is X, I think.
It's kind of weird.
A little bit.
Because they went 8.
Maybe it is
and
10.
then jumped to X.
I think it's X. Because 10 would make no sense. Because they went 7, 8, and then 10. Well, that doesn't make sense. So it's just X.
Makes more sense because it's extra.
Yeah.
Extra
it's like,
big.
It's extra money.
Extra.
It's like
I know.
$1,000 to start.
Just think about those people that are like collectors. They'd have to buy the 8 and then like 2 weeks later drop another $1,000 on a X.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Are there collectors of phones?
There's got to be Apple fanatics, aren't there?
There's Apple fanatics,
Someone
but do they actually collect the phones?
Well, I mean, somebody's got to have every single phone.
Maybe.
They're like, oh, I just got 8. This is awesome.
I think they just trade their old one to get the new one. I think they just want to have the latest. They don't really care if they have all of them. I don't know anybody who keeps their old phones.
I have my old phone just because.
Probably because you abuse it. It's probably broken in half.
know.
You're like, I kept it. It's broken in half, but you know.
No, they didn't want it. Like they
Because
weren't
it
gonna,
was broken?
No, they weren't going to give me anything for it. You don't necessarily trade your phones in anymore.
I know. I don't trade mine. I keep them giving my kids as like iPods.
But when I get a new one, I'm going to throw this one away because it's broke to hell.
Well, make sure you clear off the memory and stuff.
Clear off.
Because it has like your data on it. So, you know.
Data.
I don't know if I've read Batman 100 or not.
My data.
If I do, I would have read it as a trade. I definitely don't have the prestige format books.
Dude,
Anyway,
these were like,
I'm Drew.
I'm Don.
And every week we get together, and every other week we get together and we talk about comic books and comic book stuff like movies and things like
and TV.
that. And TV and whatever we really feel like talking about.
Geek stuff.
Yeah, all that geek stuff. So, anyway. I guess we should get started because Don said he has to get up early or something, or he was crying about some work schedule.
I was not crying.
Tears were flowing from his face.
I have to like go to work in like 5 hours.
5 hours? It's like nothing. You get home from here, get sleep for 3, wake up, you're good to go. You don't need like 3 hours of sleep, dude.
I think I need more than that.
3 hours is all you need.
But whatever. So do we want to do books first and wait?
We usually do movies first.
Until...
Well, we should wait for Scott for the movies because Scott is usually here. He's not here yet. So let's wait. Let's do comics first.
Okay.
We can talk about previews because I was flipping through it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm frustrated.
Why?
I'm just frustrated, Don.
You're not excited about the new DC launch?
No, I'm not excited about that. So
really,
I keep thinking I ordered stuff and then I didn't order it. And then I'll order like issue 2 and then realize I didn't order issue 1. So that happened with Lark's Killer. I thought I ordered 1, so I started ordering 2 and 3 and I'm like, where's 1? Oh wait, I didn't order it. And I ordered that Star Wars Adventures book. I swear I ordered 1 and 2. And I don't. So I have 3, 4, and 5 coming. And then I can't keep track of all these series. They're like stopping for a while and they start back up. When you order, do you just go through the DCBS like order website? Like just scroll through like all of Marvel stuff or do you actually type in what you want to order?
No, I scroll through each.
Yeah.
Publisher.
On DCBS, they don't always indicate like what's new. Like on the image, they'll have like 5 issues listed. It's like, well, which one of those is new? It's probably the latest ones, but why do they list old stuff on there? Just list the stuff that came out this month.
They're trying to sell it.
I know, but it should be like in a separate
It
section.
should be. I agree.
It's confusing, and so then they're like, did I order that? Did I not order that?
Just go back to your last order.
I can't keep track.
That's what I do.
And then Black Hammer, do you know that's going on hiatus?
No.
And then it's going to be relaunched as like a slightly different series, but yet continuation of the story, but with a different title. There's a lot of that going on too. Rumble's coming back. I'm very excited about that.
Heron's not doing the artwork.
I know Heron's off. He abandoned it.
Did he create it, or is he just the artist?
He's the creator, but I think it's the typical kind of like I can make better money drawing Marvel books than just create our own book.
Is he doing a Marvel book?
I think he's doing a Thor issue, actually.
A Thor issue?
Yeah, I think he's just doing, like, fill-ins. He did those 2 issues of Seven to Eternity. I'm sure Reminder, like, threw a bunch of cash at him. Because I'm sure Reminder is, like, flush in cash.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm serious. He's got, like, 4 books that sell, like, really good.
Really good?
Yeah, like, in image terms, they sell pretty good. They're making hand over fist. And Seven to Eternity is really good.
I heard from someone.
No.
In the business.
In the biz.
In the biz.
What did you hear?
You can basically expect to make, from Image, basically $1 out of a book.
That's pretty good if you're selling 10,000 copies.
Yeah, but I think
10,000 a month.
I think that's split then between.
Well, yeah.
Your artist or your writer, your artist, your.
And you throw somebody at the color.
Your
colorist, letters don't make much. They're kind of a commodity at this point.
But yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, well, like I look at those James Herron book or pages. He's got the lettering right on the page. So I think he's doing the lettering, like the actual big lettering. You know, just the words and stuff are done by a letter, and that's. I don't think that pays very well, quite honestly, because it's all done on computers now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of
$10 a page.
Maybe, yeah, could be. I don't know, but anyway, my
30 pages a day.
But yeah, I think you're right. Probably make about $1,000 a book. But then you got the trade sales, which is your back end, so you make some money.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man. That's what I heard.
That's pretty good. And like Seven Eternity was selling like 20,000 copies, let's say. So Reminder and Opana are splitting like, $10,000 a piece every month. Plus Reminder. That's the thing about Reminder. He's doing like 3 or 4 books. So if he's making like $1 off each book, he's got like 3 or 4 books on that a month.
He's making like $80,000 a month.
At least. No, not quite that much. But you know what I'm saying.
He's like a millionaire.
Well, I read something that I was from the 11 o'clock. It might have been 11 o'clock comics podcast, or maybe it was an interview. But anyway, Jason Wood was on there. He was saying that when they were interviewing the artist for Nick Dragata, he said he's making way more in East to West than he ever made working for Marvel. And Ryan Otley says he makes better money on Invincible than he made.
I have an idea of what somebody makes on a book for Marvel.
Well, I think it depends on the artist. I mean, they all get different rates.
Right,
But yeah, I think the high-end guys make about $400 or $500 a page rate.
I heard per month.
$400 or $500 a month?
No. I heard a figure per book.
Oh, per book. Well, it just depends. Like, I think different artists get different rates.
Yeah.
Like, I was at the Dallas Comic Con. I was talking to Art Tebert, and I asked him, I said, well, why don't you do more penciling? Because I like your pencil work a lot. He does a lot of inking. He's like, well, I can ink twice as fast as I can pencil, and so I can make more money inking. And I'm like, oh. He's like, but some of those some of those big guys, like probably Olivia Coipel, they get like $500 a page, pencil and inks or whatever, or pencils or whatever. And he's like, if they were paying me that, I could probably pencil, but I don't get paid that. So I think your A-listers get up there, but I think your middle guys don't do. Okay, how much a month? I guess I'm rambling.
4 to 7. 4 to 7,000 a month.
Is that inks and pencils?
I think it's just pencils.
Just pencils? That's
Maybe.
not bad.
I don't know.
That's pretty good. But most artists can't do a book a month. It's a problem.
Yeah.
But anyway. Alright, so did you buy the Moebius library?
Nope.
None of them? They had that Adina or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
So I always wanted to read all of Moebius' stuff. So they came out with one book. It was like a hardcover book. It was like called Adina, and it was like a story of the Adina stories.
Did you
or whatever.
buy it?
I did. I bought it. But then they came up with a second book that was called like Moebius, Art of Adina, which was just like an art book, not like a storybook. So I didn't buy that. Well, now they have a third book. It's called Moebius Library Inside Moebius. So this is basically stories he drew of him like interfacing with his own creations or whatever. So it's not like the original stories. I don't know why they don't just publish all of his original stories.
Don't they do that through the Humanoids and you pay like $75?
Humanoids has like the Incal and stuff. But I don't know what this deal is that Dark Horse has with Moebius. It's called like the Moebius Library, and of the 3 books, only one is like the core like comics that he made, and the other 2 are like supplemental type stuff.
I'm not that familiar with Moebius.
Maybe they didn't get the rights to all his stuff.
Is he still alive?
Moebius?
Yeah.
No, he's dead.
Okay. Was that a stupid question?
Kind of.
Oh,
He died a long time
I
ago.
prefaced it with
Not
I
a long
don't
time
know.
ago.
that much about Moebius.
Yeah, I know, that's true. You did preface it. Alright, so I'm just going to go through previews and rant for a while. Alright, so Tomb Raider. Like, I never bought that comic or whatever. It looked like it was alright. Like, it had...
iteration. They did a Tomb Raider book, like, 5 or 10 years ago, and then they just relaunched a new one.
Yeah, like in 2014, they relaunched a new one. And it had some good writers on it. Gail Simone, Rihanna Pratt, don't know her. Some decent artists. Nothing I've ever heard of. But anyway, it looked alright. But they made a library edition of it.
Oh, yeah?
And it's like $50 for like 18 issues, which isn't bad, really. You know? But it's like that big oversized. Who's buying a library edition of Tomb Raider?
I might.
Really?
No.
Because, like, I can see library editions of Hellboy, because people are, like, pretty crazy about Hellboy, and they want it in, like, a nice, oversized, you know,
Maybe.
archival format. I just don't see that with Tomb Raider.
There's a lot of people that play video games. There's a new.
Are they going to buy a big $50 comic book, though?
There's a new movie coming out.
But are they going to buy a big $50 comic book?
Who do you think's buying the Tomb Raider comic book?
Those people, they might buy a comic book, but are they really going to buy a hardcover of it?
They might.
I think of hardcovers, like, mostly reserved for, like, you know, more kind of iconic works.
Well,
you know, like
and
Hellboy or Goon, you know, something that has kind of a, you know, has... I mean, not that this Tomb Raider book was bad, I just don't know that it deserves the library edition treatment. That's all I'm
it's
saying.
probably under contract.
Maybe.
Maybe in like
Doesn't make
3 or
sense.
4 months when it ships, we'll be able to see the numbers.
Alright. Are you buying any of these new DC books? There's like
Dude,
Immortal Men,
Jim
Damage,
Lee.
Silencer.
Tony Daniel
Yeah, really good
and
teams,
John
right?
Romita Jr.
But are they just be on it for like 2 issues and then leave?
Probably.
Yeah, I'm not buying it.
I don't know.
Well,
I
at
was
first I
thinking
saw
about
it and I thought it was like new characters, like
It-
brand new creations.
It is.
But it's not. They're all like just kind of little
I've never heard of
D-list.
Silencer.
Yeah, but if you Google it, she's like, it's from something.
I know,
Like
damn
it's-
it. It's the hidden, dark, secret world of the DC that
Yeah, but it's
we've
not a
never
new.
known about.
But it's not a new creation. She's
But-
had. It's not like her first appearance. Silencer #1 is not the first appearance of this character.
Yeah, but it features the unprecedented
vertical fold-out cover.
fold-out cover.
I understand that, but like none of the. I thought these were like new, which I thought was cool with A-list people creating new creations, but they're not.
I think that's new.
No, it's. I googled it all, dude. Immortal Men, Damage. You said you knew him. Silencer.
Well,
they're not
yeah.
new creations.
I
They're
have-
just like really obscure characters that they've kind of
Hmm.
tried to redo.
Yeah, but it's John Romita and it's Jim Lee.
I agree.
Jim
And
Lee probably gets $5,000 a
For
page.
2 issues, it's going to be awesome. I think Jim Lee gets a salary, and he probably just draws it every once. Because he's like, what, the COO?
Yeah, but he's probably double dipping.
Might be. I don't know. And then, it's
Jim
just
Lee
a
might-
rant. So 30 Days a Night.
Yeah, they're rebooting.
They're
30 Days a
rebooting
Night.
it and just redoing it. Right?
Yeah, I know. That's what I got.
What is that all about? Was there something
Does
wrong
it-
with the way Temple-Smith drew it? Has it aged that much in 10 years that it needs a reboot?
It's been longer than 10 years.
Not much.
Does that mean that the does that mean that the
15
30
years?
the 30 Days a Night movie is not in continuity
I
anymore?
don't know.
Like,
Wait,
does
what?
it still exist?
What is? Am I in crazy world? What is going on here? Yeah, that's crazy. And then IDW. So I was buying that Dread Gods. Did you see that? It was by like
Yeah.
Tom Rainey and Ron Mars.
Mhm.
Like 2 or 3 issues came out. There's no more. And then they said they were going to launch the Bart Sears one, which was like Giant Killers.
Yeah.
Where is that book
I
at?
ordered 0, I think, last month.
Number 0.
Giant Killer
Well,
0.
where's number 1? It's not in
I
here.
don't know.
It's like they just abandoned that whole line.
It got lost in the 4 issues of My Little Pony.
And
that's
see,
coming
this is
out.
the problem. I can't remember if I ordered Giant Killers number 0 or not. So when number 1 comes out, I'm like, I think I ordered that. I don't know. I got to go back and look and do all this research.
All you have to do is log on to your account.
If it will come out every month, I can remember what I ordered.
Log on to your account.
Continuity, people.
Hey, there's a.
Do you want me to order monthly comics or not?
You know what that?
Do you know that Happy, the Garth Grant Morrison,
They're
Derek
making
Robertson
it a
book?
show.
It's a show. It
Apparently
was like a
on
super
Sci-Fi.
short comic book.
No,
Is it
was
like a TV
4
show?
issues.
Yeah, like 4 issues. That's not very long. It was like one night. Is it going to be a series or is it going to be?
I don't know. I'm excited about the Spawn versus Krampus book.
Did you hear that?
See that?
No, I saw it, but I'm not excited about it. Did you see? Slight digression because we talked about Happy. Did you see that Lazarus got picked up for a TV show or optioned, and then Velvet by Ed Brubaker and Steve Epting that got picked up for a TV show optioned.
Oh, how much are my comics worth now?
I know. I was looking at my. I have in that box you gave me of stuff that didn't sell. I had a Lazarus #1 in there.
I've got like 3 of them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Because I
Hopefully
bought
they're
them.
gonna go up.
I bought them because I was like, you know what? This is going to be worth money.
It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be
They're
Walking
huge.
Dead.
It's going to be Walking Dead. Oh my God! Did you look through the merchandise in the back?
Of this preview?
Yeah.
You don't have this preview yet, do you?
Yeah, I got it today.
Oh, okay. I did not look through the merchandise in the back.
There's a half scale Deadpool figure.
Like half size?
36 inches.
Wow.
Half scale. It's like $800 or $900.
Wow.
And then there's a 1/72nd scale of the Millennium Falcon.
Wow. How big is that?
It's like, I don't know, go in the back and look. I can't remember.
I'm not gonna look.
Pretty big.
Cool.
It's like $8 million.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
I don't remember how much. Hey, did you get your notice from DCBS?
That Hillbilly got canceled, number 9 and 10 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Volume 2 is solicited with 5 through 8.
We're not sponsored by them, and we never will be, right?
Correct.
Oh my God. So I've been getting lots of
Cancellations?
cancellation notifications.
I'm getting a few as well.
Okay,
I
so,
think pretty soon they're going to owe me money.
well, they're never going to owe me money because I buy way too much stuff. But I'm getting super frustrated because they sent me a cancellation of the Marvel Generations.
Oh, yeah.
I ordered one of them. It was the Thor one.
Okay.
Because it's Jason Aaron.
Yeah, it looked like a good book.
Yeah, so I ordered it, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, they offer all these different variants or whatever.
Yeah.
So they had like a Kirby variant, and it was the same price as like the normal book.
Uh-huh.
Like it wasn't, a $500
Sure,
variant or something. So I'm like, oh, cool, Kirby, I'll get that.
Right.
Never get notification.
Canceled.
Canceled. Out of
Stock.
and unable to reorder.
Okay. So you don't get the book at all?
No, I don't get the book at all.
Because they can't get your variant.
Right.
So you don't get they don't give you the regular copy.
Right. So I emailed them.
Yeah. And what
back.
Say?
And I was like, this has happened a couple times now with these variant covers. It's like, I don't really care what the variant cover is. Like, I just want to read the book. So, is there a way, like, if the variant cover sells out, like, I have an option to get another cover? And they're like, they said, so they emailed me back and they said something about, well, we're really sorry about that. And then I don't remember what it was. And then at the end, so then I emailed them back and I'm like, well, can I get
the regular cover?
They're like, well, it's going to a second print. If you'd like, we can order you a second print.
I want the first print.
And so I said, is there any way I can get a first print of the regular cover? No, the first print's all sold out. If you'd like the second printing, though, let us know and we can add it to your order.
Why did they order the cover that you ordered? Why did they put it on their website and let you order it? And they collect your money for it and they say you can't have it. Right?
It's like the second or third time that it's happened to me.
Oh my God. Alright, here's something that doesn't make any sense.
You know what's really scaring me, though?
What?
Like, I think last month or the month before, they were doing all the Walking Dead variant covers. So I ordered like every
Walking Dead variant.
Every image book that I ordered like the Walking Dead.
Oh, you're screwed. You're not getting anything.
I'm gonna miss every single image book that I buy.
Probably.
I'm gonna get screwed.
So, since I was having so much trouble remembering what issue of whatever to order, I was missing issues. I went ahead and I just subscribed straight through Image to like most of my Image books. Because I figured most of these books I'm just going to keep buying until they don't make them anymore, right? So I just went into Image Direct subscriptions and I've gotten to that. So I subscribed to probably like 15 titles, right?
That's a chunk of money right there.
It is. So anyway,
That's
I
like
didn't do it all at
$1,000.
once. Not quite that much, but close. So anyway, so I subscribed to all my Image books, all right? So I bought like a year's worth of all these Image books. So far I've gotten one comic. All right, I subscribed to that Scales and Scoundrels. I was really excited about that book. It came out like a month ago. I still have not received it. And I emailed them. I said, it says on your website it should be like 7 to 12 business days after the comic comes out. I said, I haven't got it yet. They emailed me back like 2 days later. They're like, Well, because of the hurricanes, we send it like the lowest priority, U.S. postal mail or whatever. They have some name for it. So that's like the lowest priority mail. So with all the hurricanes and everything messed up, it's going to be delayed. But per their website, they've shipped me like 10 comics, and I've gotten one, and that was like a month ago. So this brilliant plan of mine is not panning out. Now, part of the reason I did it was, one, for convenience, because I figure I can just subscribe, and I'll know I'll get every issue, blah, blah, blah. Second is, it's kind of cutting out the middleman, because you cut out your retailer, and you cut out your distributor. And the discount is about the same as what we're getting DCBS. It might be a little bit less in some cases. It kind of varies per book. So I figure, hey, I'm paying about the same, but most of it's going direct to Image. And so therefore, hopefully the creators get more. Like you said, they get a $1 book. Maybe they get a $1.10 book. Maybe a $1.20. I don't know. That way, it's more of a direct line between my product.
I don't think that happens that way.
Whether or not it happens that way, but in my mind, it seemed like a good idea. So far, it hasn't panned out very well.
Right.
Also, it means I won't miss an issue. So, I mean, theoretically. So far, I haven't gotten
Unless it gets lost in the hurricane.
That's true.
And then it'll be sold out, and then you won't be able to get another one.
Though I will say, that Realm book, I was kind of on the fence about it. I didn't pre-order it through DCBS, and I didn't subscribe to it right away. It came out. I went ahead and I subscribed to it after it came out, and it says your subscription would start with issue 1, and then it claims they shipped me issue 1. I haven't got it yet, obviously, because I haven't got anything. But, so, I mean, it was like supposedly sold out, but I was still able to subscribe to it and supposedly get issue 1. It might be a second printing. We'll find out if I ever get it. I don't know if I will.
And they wonder why people don't buy comics.
Right. Well, that was part of the thing. I was listening to a podcast.
Like, we're the people... Like, we're the target audience, right? Like, we're the guys that have been buying comics for 30 years.
Sure.
And, like, have 600 issue run of Spider-Man and stuff, and I don't want to miss an issue. And
Correct.
I can't get my effing comic books because they sell out.
Correct.
Or I can't get them, or I don't find them,
This is part of what prompted me to do the Image thing. Is like I was listening to a podcast and somebody was ranting and raving about how, why is it like if I want to buy, if a new album comes out that I want to buy, I just go to iTunes, I click, and I buy the album. If a new movie comes out, I just go to a digital service or I go to the store, I just go and I buy it. I just click a button or whatever and I have that movie. Why can't comic books... The physical comic, why can't comic books have that kind of distribution? I see a comic book, I hear about it, I go on a website, I click a button, and it comes to me, right?
Yeah, you can. It's called mycomicshop.com.
I guess, assuming it doesn't sell out.
They usually have.
I don't know.
You may have to pay a little bit more, but they usually have stuff.
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know.
But you know what I'm saying, though? Like, why isn't it as easy as it is in other media?
Why can't I get a freaking mini Super Nintendo?
Well, yeah, no, that's a whole other thing.
Why can't I get that?
I don't know.
Did they learn their lesson with the
No,
Nintendo?
They're doing it on purpose. It's not like they don't understand supply and demand. They're doing it on purpose.
Why would they do it on purpose? They're not getting a cut from eBay.
I don't know.
They're not getting a cut from Amazon. Why are they doing it on purpose?
Because they're creating all this buzz. It's purely marketing. I don't know. I'm not their marketing people.
I'm like, I didn't even know the damn thing was coming out, right? Like I was
gonna go stand in line, but I was out of town that day.
I live in a freaking bubble. I didn't even know the damn thing was coming out.
Okay.
I get on Facebook. What was it? Thursday?
Sure. Friday.
It was last Friday?
Yeah, Friday it came out.
I get on, it's like, hey, this dude, hey, look, I got this. And then another guy's like, hey, look, I got this. And they're like, hey, I'm playing Star Fox. And hey, I'm playing Mario RPG. And these games are great. And I'm like, cool. Maybe I'll just run down to Target and pick one up.
Man, you're so naive.
And then I'm like...
Scott's going to get here and say, oh, yeah, I got one.
Oh, sure.
I got two. I sold one on eBay for 5 times the price I paid. And then I kept one.
Well, I read an article, and it was like Nintendo was saying, don't buy it, don't buy it. We're going to ship these out. We're going to ship these out. Don't pay extra money for them. Don't pay over retail for them, because we're going to get these going.
No.
And I guess a lot of places, they you could pre-order them.
No way I could find would let you pre-order.
There were lots.
Like Walmart put it up to pre-order, and like their site like shut down, so they had to like take it off, and they had to cancel all of them.
Did they learn anything from the Nintendo one?
No, they didn't learn anything.
make a ton. So I was in GameStop today.
It's not their strategy.
I was at GameStop today, and so I was talking to the guy, and I'm like, of course they're like, so did you find everything? You know how everybody does that?
Uh-huh. It's like, no.
It's like, it's like they just want you to say yes. They don't want you to say no.
Correct.
The guy's like, so did you find everything? And I'm like, well, you wouldn't happen to have one of those Super Nintendo thingies, would you? And he's like, oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I'm
Are
like,
you insane?
I'm like,
Why do we have something everybody wants? Why would they
I go-
manufacture to meet demand?
I was reading online that they're gonna ship out a bunch of them. I'm like, do you have any idea when you might be getting any in? No.
Nope.
You could just call back and check. I'm like, okay, so when do you normally get your shipments in? Like, what would be a good day to call to see if you have them? Oh, we get shipments Monday through Friday.
So call every day.
So you don't know when you'd get like a shipment from Nintendo? Oh no, they just come random. Like, what do you mean they just come random?
Stuff just arrives
They
in their store and then they sell it.
Call everybody.
They invoice them. I don't know what I'm going to get today. I don't know what we're going to have to pay for, but this is a great way to run a business.
This may work to my advantage though, because if I call them twice a day, 5 days a week, the guy might start to feel sorry for me and go, "Listen, dude, what's your name?"
But are you really
gonna have
that kind of commitment?
If I could get one, yeah.
Can't you buy most of those games through like the Wii store or whatever?
I don't have a Wii hooked up to the internet.
Whatever Nintendo system is out now. Don't they have a store that you can buy?
I don't know. I have a Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
And I have most of those games. But I don't have an HDMI.
The convenience,
I don't have an HDMI hookup.
I got you. Yeah, I hear you.
Or I can just plug it in and go, bam, dude. And plus, it's got Star Fox 2.
Which has never been released.
Which has never been released.
All right, let's get back to... I have some more ranting I want to do.
Effing Super Nintendo.
More
Nintendo
ranting.
bullshit.
I have more ranting.
And then, I was like, you know what?
I'm getting all my negative energy out.
How about this Switch thing? Is that thing cool? Maybe I'll just buy a Switch.
Right.
Because I'm going to just give them more money.
Right.
I don't know.
Do they have Switches even?
Oh, yeah. Now available.
Now they are.
Everywhere. They have boxes of Switches, dude.
Yes. Fix that supply.
$299.99. So then I asked the guy, I'm like, hey, do you have any used Switches? Like refurbished? No. Well, if you would have one, what would the price be on it? $279.99.
$20 savings.
So I saved $20 by buying a used one. I'm like, no, thank you.
Wow. All right, back to my ranting about previews. All right, so Alterna Comics, they've been having these $1.50 issues, right? Where like all their comics are like $1.50.
Did they
and they're on like newsprint. No. All right,
Did they drop the price?
No. So they had this book called Scrimshaw, and I bought issue 1 and 2. They were $1.50.
And then you forgot.
No. Just kidding. But now they have a Scrimshaw Volume 1 trade paperback.
Went to issue 1 and 2?
It collects issues 1 to 2 and contains exclusive, never before seen material. So for this thing that cost me $3 retail, in single issues, now it's a trade. What would you think that trade might go for?
$3. Wait, there's extra stuff?
There's a little bit extra stuff.
$5.
$4.99?
$4.99.
Or maybe they'd go with the $9.99, image like trade thing or whatever.
For 2 issues?
Yeah, right. Anyway, it's $14.95.
How many pages is it?
It does not say a page count.
Well, of course it doesn't.
But it's only 2 issues.
Because it's like 40 pages.
Yeah, $14.95.
Is it on newsprint?
So apparently the way they're going to make up their money on these $1.50 comics is like way overcharged for the trades. I don't know. I assume it's not on newsprint.
It's the trade on newsprint.
It doesn't say. It gives me very little information to go on.
For $14.99.
But I'm not going to spend $14.95 to find out the answers to these questions.
For $14.95 for 2 issues, it should download right into your brain.
Right? I mean, what kind of pricing is that? That is insane.
Oh, did you you gotta get to the one I bookmarked it. It's the 9/11 book.
There's a 9/11 book?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good.
I didn't think so either. Right there, dude.
Big City Comics 9/11, a graphic novel. Alright.
Yeah, and then okay, so don't read yet. Okay, so it's a 9/11, a graphic novel.
Yes.
On September 11th. I'm going to read the whole thing just so you get the effect.
Okay.
On September 11, 2001, almost 3,000 souls were taken from us. While we remember the friends and family that were lost, sometimes we forget those who are left behind and the people who still mourn and suffer every day. This story is about a hero and a villain who both lost loved ones when the towers fell. Through them, we experience the changes they endure and maybe even empathize with the pain of the living when they can't move on. 66 pages full color from Jeff Kaufman, creator of Whore, Terminal, Alice, Angel Falling, and Bayou Bound.
Wow. Sounds awesome.
So the guy that created Whore
Yeah.
is doing a 9/11 comic.
Well, it sounds so good, too. Is that Avatar or no?
It created Whore.
No, it's Big City Comics. Yeah, it doesn't look good at all.
I just thought that was funny. Coming to you from the creator of Whore,
Of course it is.
9/11.
That's crazy. I'm speechless, I would say. So it's October, right? So they're listing something that's coming out in February.
This is December, isn't it? It's all Christmas crap.
Yeah, but this book on
Oh,
Boom,
they advanced listed all kinds
This is
of stuff.
advanced list for February. Really?
Oh, you know the bet?
February?
One of the other things that's on there?
No.
Have you seen, like, online, like, that dude will do, like, pictures of, like, action figures, like, in different poses? Like, if you,
I don't think
like,
so.
toys?
No.
Oh, well, you don't know what I'm talking about. Well, he has a book now. It's a photo book.
Oh,
of
of
all
action
his little
figures?
pictures of action figures and poses.
What's the publisher?
I can't remember.
'Cause I
Maybe
may
it's
want to order it.
Boom.
Hope not. All right, so Boom, you were talking a few times back about that Grass Kings book,
Oh,
and I thought that looks kind of cool. Maybe I'll get the hardcover. So I don't know why.
$34.99 for
Okay.
6 issues.
No, it's $30 for 6 issues. I'm like, everybody else does like a $30 hardcover for like 10 issues. Why does Boom do a $30 hardcover for 6 issues?
Why does Boom do a $20 trade paperback for a 4-issue comic book series?
I don't know. Apparently, because stupid people.
You know
will
what?
buy
That's
it.
why I boycotted Boom when they first started, because their prices were insane.
So every once in a while, I have I buy comics for my kids, you know, and I want to just give them the previous catalog so they can.
Do you
look through
just
it
buy
and-
everything from Boundless
So no.
for your kids?
Let me get my point. So it'd be nice to give them the catalog so they can flip through it and see what they like. Except we have these Boundless comic ads, which are like softcore to the max.
You know what's
and
great?
I'm like flipping through. I just, oh my god,
Just tear them out. Tear those
Right?
pages
I'm just
out.
gonna tear
burn
them
them,
out.
throw them away, and give the thing to your
Right.
kids.
Who's buying these books?
I don't know.
I mean,
You know, it's funny. I'll sit there at home, and I'm in my chair, and Barbara's in her chair.
she watches,
And I'll
you
be
flip
flipping through my previews, and I swear to God, every time she looks over, I'm
You're
on the
on the
Boundless,
Boundless page.
and I'm trying to flip through
That's
as
fast.
fast
But there's
as
like
I
5
can.
pages of it.
There's like 6 of them, and I'm like, just go, just go, just go. Oh, what are you looking at there?
Yeah,
what are you
exactly.
buying? What's that?
What's that? It's like, I'm not buying those things. I promise. Right? It's so awkward.
What's it to you? Buy what I want.
Exactly. Man.
Buy whatever I want.
All right, I think that's all the ranting I have.
That's it.
Yeah, I think I'm done. I'm spent. I think that feels good though. I feel it's been a bad week, you know, with all the bad stuff in the news. It's just I don't know. I just had to get something out. So that was helpful. Ranting about previews. All right, let's do a comic. What'd you read?
I read Batman Year 100.
How was Batman Year 100? Let's
You know
slap
what?
that bad boy up.
It was alright. I love Paul Pope. The art is really good. Like, I like the artwork.
What's Paul Pope? Why wouldn't you?
Right.
Everybody loves Paul Pope.
The story was kind of... I think Pope wrote it, too.
Yeah, he's a writer.
Yeah. The story was kind of basic. But,
Okay.
I mean, it's a Batman story. And it's
So
set,
what is Batman Year 100? Like, he's
It's
100
set
years
in-
old?
It's
it's
set in
100 AD?
2039.
Oh,
So it's
2000.
100 years after Batman was created.
Oh, 2039. That's not that far in the future.
It's 22 years.
Yeah, that's not much.
It's almost a quarter of a century.
Is that when Dark Knight Returns was set?
I don't know.
2039? No,
I
just
don't
kidding. Probably not.
The thing I didn't like about it was, like, I didn't get any backstory about who this Batman is.
Oh,
Like,
it's not
it's
Bruce
just
Wayne?
the year 20... no, it can't be. He's like a young guy.
Oh, okay.
But
Was it
like,
Robin? Dick Grayson?
I don't think so.
But they don't tell you.
They don't tell me.
Oh, so you don't know.
You just like jump into the story, which is
Sometimes
okay.
that's best.
No, it's okay. It's a different way to do it. I just felt like, hey, a little backstory here would be cool. And then there's like some Commissioner Gordon running around who's obviously not Commissioner Gordon, but they don't ever say how they're related in the book. So I was a little confused, but no, it's good.
I pay $8 an issue for those?
No.
Oh, thank goodness,
hell
because it
no.
has an $8 on it.
I know. I bought this.
Is it like a $5 book? Why would it be $8?
It's a $5.99 book.
$6 book. And someone marked it up to $8? And they sold it for 50 cents. Right? Is that how much you paid for it? 50 cents?
I think it was $12 for the set.
Oh, you way overpaid. Just
It's
kidding.
$3 a book.
Yeah, it's half cover, I guess. It's not
Yeah, but I
bad.
didn't know what the cover was.
Okay.
I bought at a convention.
Cool.
Somebody had these in a cool like pack
Yeah.
where you get like a whole pack, like a whole story together.
Wow.
Like a trade, but in single issues.
It's like heaven.
It was so awesome. I was like, holy crap, Batman Year 100, 1 through 4. I've always wanted to read this. I don't know how I didn't buy this when it came out.
I don't think you're a big Paul Pope fan.
Well, I know, but I'm a big Batman fan. I buy almost everything from Batman.
Yeah, but this was kind of on the fringes.
It was on the fringes.
I don't think it sold very well.
Well, obviously not. Some dude had them marked for $8. And did I pay $8? No, I did not pay $8. But it's really cool. I mean, the art's good. I really liked it. It was a fairly quick read. I mean, I sat down and read it like in a day, or like
Pretty quick.
2 hours or something.
Cool.
Yeah, if you've never read Paul Pope, Batman Year 100, and you like Paul Pope and you or like Batman, then read it.
Okay.
It's really good.
Cool. I like Paul
You want
Pope.
to borrow it?
I like Batman. No.
You should borrow it.
I don't want to.
Why? You just said you like Paul Pope.
I do love Paul Pope.
And you like Batman.
I do like
So
Batman.
you should read it.
No, I'm not going to read it.
Oh my god. It's an hour and a half out of your day, dude.
Dude, I just got a bunch of bound books back, so I'm like piled up behind.
What?
They're upstairs. I didn't bring them down.
Where? What are they?
I got X-Men: The Hidden Years.
You had all those?
Yeah, all 21 issues.
Nice.
And then I bound.
Oh, you didn't bring your Marvel previews down.
No, I didn't. I bound Sentinel. Remember that book by Sean McKeever?
Mm-hmm.
I bound that. I never
You
read
had
that.
those?
I collected them all, yeah. I got them all and I bound it. I really like Iron Giants. I think it's kind of like that.
Huh. I never read it.
I never read it either. I just bound it so I could read it.
Oh my god.
I bound Alien Legion Volume 2. Really like the first
Never
volume that I
read
had
that.
bound. Alien is pretty solid. It's kind of old school, like it's kind of a slow
yeah.
burn and a lot of words, but it's really well written. It's pretty good. Pretty well done. What else did I bind? Oh, I bound Smallwood's Moon Knight. Lemire and Smallwood's Moon Knight. Just have that hardcover now. Why are you shaking your head?
Those are worth money, dude.
The Lemire and Smallwood Moon Knights?
Yeah.
Well, they're worth a lot of money because they're in a cool hardcover now.
Doesn't make them worth it.
It makes them worth $1,000.
Whatever.
And then what else?
But Smallwood will probably love the shit out of that.
Oh, and then I bound Tomorrow's Stories, the Alan Moore,
Oh, yeah.
and it's got Kevin Nolan in it, so I want to get him to sign it at.
Don't they
Comic-Con.
have hardcovers of that?
I think they do, but not all of them together. Like they have like 2 or 3 different hardcovers or 2 hardcovers of them. But I don't think they ever collected.
Well, you can get your Moon Knight signed too.
I know, I'm all excited. And then there's one more, I thought. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, Concrete. I bound all the Concrete miniseries into like a big, huge hardcover. It's pretty cool.
You lose a ton of stuff in the edge.
I do not because I bind the single issues and they smythe sew them, and so they open up completely. You don't lose any gutter.
Okay.
It's a little more, and you have to have single issues that are folded. Like you can't use any already bound like square bound books. It has to be all like single issue, whatever you call it. But then if you do the smythe sew, you don't lose any gutter at all.
Gotcha.
It's pretty sweet.
All right. Well, you should do something.
All right, I read Space Riders,
Nice.
which Don let me borrow. This was pretty solid, dude. I liked it a lot. And I'm kicking myself I didn't order Space Riders 2, which I will have to do.
Well,
But Space Riders is by Fabian Rangel Jr. and Alex Zirett. Alexis Zirett. And it's pretty cool. It's kind of like a pulpy, kind of space-ish opera thing, but it's kind of down and gritty. It's kind of like a, I don't know how you would describe it.
Guardians of the Galaxy is rated R.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is.
No, I don't know.
And it's cool. It's like this group of space pirates. Actually, it's part of a space federation, so they're actually the good guys. They're space riders, not space pirates. But the guy has like an eye patch, so he kind of looks like a pirate. He's really not. But anyway, yeah, the first thing he gets like fired, and so he has to like, go on a mission to like prove himself type of thing. And it's just the crazy. It's very Kirby-esque. The colors are really kind of cool. They're kind of retro, kind of psychedelic or whatever. But
trippy, man.
It's kind of trippy. It's really cool. I liked it a lot. It took me a while to get into the swing of the spirit of it,
Mm-hmm.
But once I got into the spirit, it was pretty awesome. Their ship is like a big giant skull with like lightning bolts over the eyes. So that should tell you everything you know right there. It's a skull with lightning bolts on their eyes. So I mean, what else? But in the back, it was pretty cool. They had pinups or stuff and alternate covers. It's all my favorite people. Like Aaron Conley did one.
Yep.
Matt Allison did a cover. That's awesome.
Yep.
Oh my god, that's so good. And then Warwick Johnson, he's the guy who did that book I was talking about recently, Helena Crash.
Oh yeah.
He's in there.
Yeah.
So Troy Nixie, I just kind of discovered Troy Nixie, and you did that book just the other week. He's pretty awesome. I need to read more of his stuff because he's kind of like a new guy. I just kind of.
What was that book that I read?
It was the Black something maybe. It's like the guy he was holding like a gun in his hood or something. I don't know, but it was cool. And I need more of it. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Space Riders, very good. Enjoyed it a lot.
I saw something that he's doing now, Troy Nixie. Anyway.
Black Sinister, wasn't it that? Sinister
Yeah, it was that Dark Horse thing that was in Dark Horse Presents.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what it was.
So I'm digging
That's what it was.
Even though I haven't read anything by him, I'm digging his art. I want to read something by him.
It's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, Space Riders is really good.
And Alexis Zirett will be at Air Capital Comic-Con.
As will Matt Allison.
And
Aaron Conley.
And Aaron Conley.
So it's pretty much going to be awesome.
On November 11th and 12th
of
2017.
I think I'm going to go.
In Wichita, Kansas.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely going.
Oh, I'm going to be there.
I'm going to buy a t-shirt too.
Me too.
I'm going to get like the VIP pass.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's like a little clay chip.
Yeah, a little clay poker chip and an enamel pin. Yeah, all for the VIP pass. You get like, and a cool art badge.
And a cool art badge that I can get signed.
Sweet. Yep. So it's going to be pretty sweet.
It is going to be pretty sweet.
Yeah. It's much better than that other Comic-Con that weekend.
That's true.
You sure about that?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's better.
I'll take your word.
Nobody listens to this, right?
Right.
They have Baby Superman.
They do have Baby Superman.
And the Superman that ran along the train, the teenage
That's
Superman.
true. Baby and Teenage Superman. And they have Margot Kidder.
Yep.
And the big ugly guy who was one of the henchmen in Superman 2.
Zod.
Zod.
Not Zod, but his
No,
buddy.
it's his henchman.
Yeah, and the lady.
And the Lady Zod. I think that's her official name.
Lady
Zod.
And
if
you want to go to the 40th anniversary screening of either Superman 1 or Superman 2, I'm not sure which because it's confusing if you go to their website.
Yeah.
They're
It'd
doing
probably
a
be
movie.
Superman 1 because it's only
But
2017.
it was in December of 2018 is when this movie was released, which
okay.
I imagine is Superman 2.
No, I don't think so.
Superman 2.
But it's November of 2017. But it's the 40th anniversary.
Wouldn't that be 39th,
which is
though?
December.
I'm not perfect at
But
math.
they're kicking off the 40th anniversary tour of 2018
Oh, in 2017.
at this thing.
So it's actually 39 years, but it's like the beginning.
It's like 13 months early.
Gotcha.
So you'll be like the first one. But Miss Tessmarker.
Miss Tessmarker?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Are you speaking English?
Yeah. Miss Tessmarker. The secretary, Lex Luthor's secretary from the first movie.
Yeah.
I think she was in the second one.
Maybe.
A little bit.
Probably.
Possibly.
Could be.
Very likely.
She's going to be at the screening
Oh.
via Skype.
Oh, of
Oh
course.
my gosh.
And then you get like a movie, like a print,
Yeah.
and it's signed by everybody. And they're going to be at the movie. So You can watch the movie with them
Is that why you're wearing a
for the
Superman?
low price.
Oh, low price.
Of $265.
Oh, that's a bargain.
I know, right?
You know,
Limited
let me say, you can
to
take that.
100 tickets.
You can take that $265, buy the VIP Cast Air Capital, pretty much buy like something from every guest, and get it signed for
You
that
can
same
buy
price.
something from my booth.
And a pop.
And a pop. You probably
And
get a
a
pop
pop.
too. Yeah. So you decide
and a
which is
pop.
worth your $265.
And you can buy at least a
just saying.
Star Wars action figure from me. Hell, you can probably buy all my Star Wars action figures for that.
You can walk out with a box of Star Wars action figures
That's
for
right.
$265.
You can probably buy Scott's whole booth for $265. Get your truck.
It's a good thing nobody listens to this.
It is a good thing that nobody listens.
Because I could
It's
really
pretty
talk
true.
about some stuff.
Could you?
It's a good
I
thing, but
could.
don't.
I
That's
could
what
rant.
That's what you're doing.
I just
Oh,
ranted
hey.
the whole time.
You know what I got today?
What?
My Usagi Yojimbo and my TMNT team up
Oh, nice.
hardcover. Yep, I got it in my shipment today.
You bought the hardcover?
Fuck yeah.
Was it
Why
like
wouldn't I?
$20?
It was like 15.
It's only like a single issue.
Who
worth of
cares?
stuff.
It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Usagi Yojimbo.
Alright.
I have to buy the hard. If there's a hardcover and a soft cover, I have to buy the hardcover
Alright. But I mean, it's like a single issue.
of everything.
I mean, I
it
know
doesn't
it's
matter what it
oversized.
is.
Okay. Did you want to
When I
talk
went
about
to-
something?
What?
You want to talk about a comic?
Well, I did Batman 100,
I know.
Is that all
And then
you
I
talked
talked about Space
Oh, yeah.
Riders.
and then
It's your turn.
so like when I went to
That's all you talked
I
about?
only have two.
Yeah, we went through the previews quite a bit.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
When I went to
You weren't listening on your way over?
No, unfortunately.
when I went to
If it would have came to
Lace,
my radio, maybe, but
Chris Grine was there, and I took my time shifter,
Shifters, yeah.
number 1.
Uh-huh.
He was like, "You bought the hardcover?" I was like, "Hell yeah, dude! I bought the hardcover. I don't play around." He's like, "I can't believe you bought the hardcover." He's like, "That's amazing."
I think I
Well,
bought the
thank
soft
you.
cover.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, if there's a soft cover and a hardcover, I buy the hardcover.
It depends.
Not with me.
Okay.
not with him.
Why wouldn't I spend an extra $3?
Sometimes you
to
save
have
like $4 or $5.
$4 or $5. I want the
Heck yeah.
soft cover gets screwed up. You gotta buy the hardcover.
Alright.
And then most of the time, a lot of times when you buy a hardcover and you
Yeah.
take it to get it signed,
They'll
they're
sketch in it.
like, "Ooh, you
Did
got
Chris
a
Bryan
hardcover."
sketch in it?
Oh.
No. But Matt Kent will. 'Cause
Matt
Matt
Kent
Kent's
will.
awesome. Why don't you show that in the picture?
That
Because
is
it's pretty cool.
gorgeous. Yeah, no kidding.
But I got a Matt Kent
That is
sketch
cool.
in my hardcover of Mind Management number 1. I haven't seen him since, so that's the only one I have autographed.
Where did you see him at Planet?
Probably.
Because I saw him at Planet this year, but you didn't go to Planet.
No, not this year. Probably like a couple years ago. It's
Cool.
been a while since I've seen Matt Kent.
He sketched in my Frankenstein Agent of Shade bound hardcover.
Nice.
Yeah. 'Cause
So
Matt
anyway,
Kent's awesome.
I have all of the Mind Management books, the hardcovers.
Yeah.
So I have like the whole series, but I never sat down and read all of it.
At once, or you hadn't
So
actually
you-
read
No,
it?
I've never finished it.
Oh, okay.
Like I bought them and
But you've
read
only
like
got 3 here, so you say you
Yeah,
only
I
got
know.
through 3?
I'm only half. Yeah, I've read through 3.
How many
You
are
should
there?
wait.
There's 6.
You should wait till you read all of
6.
them to talk about them.
6.
Why?
Wow.
It'll make better sense.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
That
I don't
makes better
care.
sense if you like.
I don't have anything else to
That's
talk
right.
about because that's all I read.
All right,
And
talk
better
about it.
talk
I don't
about it.
even know what to talk about.
All right. this
Have
is
you
good
finished
podcast.
Mind Management?
I did finish it.
You've read it?
I read all of them
Okay.
as they came
Best,
out.
So
best story ever.
I don't know
Well-
about that. I need to reread them because so it'll make sense.
yeah, exactly. That's why I waited.
That was very smart. I don't have that kind of self control.
Okay, so basically,
So tell us a little about mind
the
management.
gist of Mind Management is
This chick
well,
has all these people in her head.
obviously it's by Matt Kent, so it's awesome.
Well, clearly.
The one thing that I thought was kind of cool that like when Matt Kent does like little quirky things,
Yeah.
really bugging the shit out of me though reading these hardcovers when he writes in the margins
Oh,
and
writes
I have
in
to
the
turn the
margins,
freaking
Turn
book.
stuff. Oh,
And
yes.
in the hardcover, sometimes it's a little difficult to like read. Now there was some stories where he did stuff in the side and he did a story on the bottom.
Uh-huh.
I can dig the story on the bottom, like that's
Yeah.
fine. It's the one on the side.
I don't know. Sometimes I get lost though. and I
I'm not a
skip.
fan of stuff on
And-
the bottom that like is each
Keeps
page
continuing.
because as I'm reading the page and then it distracts me.
and
I
from
totally
the
agree.
flow of the
and then
story,
exactly, and my
and then
mind
I
starts
read the
concentrating on something
bottom,
else, and then
yeah.
I'm flipping back and forth.
And like most of
I
the
agree.
stuff on the side,
Yeah.
I really don't think you have to read it because it's
I mostly
mostly
ignored
like
it.
You don't.
It's
But what
mostly
what I
like-
have to end up doing, or what I found I did afterward, is I just read the story and then I went back and then I would read everything in the margin, type
Right,
thing.
and most of it in the side of the margin is all like mind management, like stuff like out of their manual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Propaganda
only
or
travel in
something like
groups.
this,
Yeah.
Do this, don't do that. But that part of it is Maru, where because she wrote a book,
Yeah.
and so part of that is the book, like
Gotcha.
how the lady like wrote the
Before
book.
explaining the details of what's in the margins, you might just give an overview
Okay.
of the story.
So the overview of mind management. I'm probably the only
Usually
person
the
that hasn't
order
read
that
it.
something like this would go in.
It's
Okay,
been
so like,
I probably read that one probably 5
okay,
years
so
ago or something.
it starts out,
Man.
and the main character, her name is Maru,
Maru.
and she's watching TV.
Aunt Maru?
No.
Oh, that's Aunt Maru.
Aunt Baru.
That's
Aunt
a blue
Baru.
book.
You think he's a Star Wars fan? Like Maru, Maru.
So she's watching TV and she sees like a news story about Flight 815, which is kind of funny because the first forward is by Damon,
Focus.
Lindelof?
Focus, yes.
who created Lost,
I know, I got it.
and that flight was 815. So Damon Lindelof is like, never go on a flight 815, like ever.
Right.
So anyway, there's a famous flight 815 where all the passengers get amnesia.
Correct.
And nobody can remember who they are or anything. And there was one passenger that was missing, who's mysteriously missing, has never been found. So anyway, she's a writer. She wrote a book, and she's like, I'm gonna write this story. I'm gonna like figure out what happened with 815, and I'm gonna write a story about it. So she goes on this journey. She calls her publisher, and she's like, I'm gonna write this story about Flight 815. And he's like, yeah, you've told me that like 10 times. It's like you never finish it. Oh, okay. So then she ends up hooking up with Henry Lime.
Yeah.
Like
No,
she
Henry
finds
Lime. I like that
She
guy.
finds this guy Henry Lime, and he basically tells her, this may be going, I don't remember when she meets Henry Lime. I think it's in this
It's in the first one.
one. And Henry Lime like tells her that, we met. This is like the 8th time you've come to me and told me this, and I've told you. And basically, he tells her that there's this secret organization called Mind Management that the government has, and these people have all these different powers, and he's one of them. And Henry Lime is like one of the most powerful of the agents, but he doesn't work for him anymore because he got tired of it and he left, and then the whole thing broke up. Well, so anyway, then they're on the run and they're being chased by basically somebody's trying to get them back together, like Mind Management back together, and her name is, damn it.
Bringing the band back together.
Yeah, bringing the band back together. So they're chasing them down. There's people that are called the Immortals.
Yep.
And they can't die.
Nope.
You kill them in what do you call it? Evolve, and then like come back to life or whatever.
Reincarnate?
No,
Okay.
like they shoot them in the head and drop them in the water,
Uh-huh.
and they're at the bottom of the pond or the lake or whatever, and then they like come back and grow
Yeah.
gills or I don't know, whatever.
Gotcha.
But anyway, so there's a secret organization. Find out that she's been on this trail like 6 times. Henry Lime wipes her mind.
And she
Like
gets back
explains everything to her and then wipes her mind and then sends her back home.
on. And she does it all over
And she
again.
does it all over again.
Yeah.
And so they kind of hook up. So you got like Henry Lime and Maru, and they're kind of working together, and they're trying to gather up as many agents as they can to be on their team. And then you've got the other lady, I can't remember her name, the Eraser. And she's gathering up all these people, so there's apparently going to be like this big mind management war or
Between the
whatever.
two factions.
Between the two factions.
Pretty much.
So
Yep.
That's the gist of it.
that's the gist of it.
It's a good book.
It's good. It's really good. I mean, if you like Matt Kent's art, I mean, it's all watercolor painted. It's really cool. There's a lot of twists and turns, and just cool Matt Kent spy stuff. So it's a good book. It's really good. I'll be happy to finally read it. I think I've read up to 3. I don't think I've read anything past 3.
Cool.
So,
I read them all.
4, 5, and 6. Because I think
I hope so, since you brought the first 3 volumes in.
Yeah.
That you read up to 3.
I did. I
That
read
doesn't
up
mean
to
anything.
3. I'm
It doesn't
tired.
mean anything.
No, it doesn't mean anything. Whether I read it and retained anything, that's another story too. Like all in and of itself.
Did you read Lark's Killer yet?
No, you read number 2 without number 1.
Yeah, so I thought I ordered number 1. Apparently I didn't, so I didn't get it. So, but
know.
I did order number 2, and so when I get a book, I read it.
Did you miss? Did you miss? Were you lost? Did you jump right into 2?
I was not lost, not much.
Did they do a little recap?
No, there's no recap. I just jumped in, and it started to make sense. Basically, there's this girl named Lark, and she's from our world, but she's in like a Dungeons and Dragons type fantasy world. And so she's kind of wandering around, and now I didn't read the first issue. So I'm not sure why, but there's some people after her, and so they've pulled these assassins from like another dimension, maybe, to chase her down. And that's basically what happens in this issue. She's running off with some guy who's like kind of her protector, and she gives him sunglasses because he's never seen sunglasses before, so he was really amazed. And so he thinks they're gonna be rich, selling these sunglasses or whatever. But anyway, yeah, I stopped ordering it because I missed number 1. So I'm getting like 2 and 3, and I think that's it.
Yeah.
And so if there's a trade, I'll probably just get the trade. But this is written by Bill Willingham.
Hey.
Fable, so I had very high hopes for it.
Yeah.
Not super impressed so far, I gotta say.
Well, you started on number 2. What do you expect?
The art is okay. It's probably not my favorite art.
Oh, it's cool. It's like cartoony.
It's very cartoony, which is fine. I don't have a problem with cartoony at all. Still not the greatest, but it's okay. It serves the story. Not much happened in this issue. Kind of just... And then they had a little introduction that would normally be in like a first issue, but it's in the second issue. But
He got sunglasses.
Devil's Due is publishing it, and it says in the solicitations it's like 1 of 7, 2 of 7, 3 of 7. But in the back, Bill Willingham says he wants to keep it going as long as it can. So is it 7 issues or is it ongoing?
It's ongoing until he can't get him to publish it anymore, I guess.
I guess. So, anyway.
Those sunglasses only cost 99 cents.
Right.
What the hell do you find 99-cent sunglasses?
She's found them in like a convenience store.
Oh, cool.
In fact, she stole them.
Bill.
She's a thief.
She didn't even pay the 99 cents.
She did not pay. She has like a whole bag full of them.
Well, maybe that's why they sell them for 99 cents.
Could
so that
be.
when people steal them, they don't go out of business.
Yeah. So, anyway, it was okay.
Oh,
like
it's
I
got
said,
a rare Bill Willingham drawing in it.
my plan was to just, since I missed one and I stopped ordering it, just get the trade when it comes out because there's only going to be 7 issues, but now it's going to keep going. So I may still get the trade. I don't know if I was impressed enough with this issue to order the trade. So we'll see how 3 goes. If 3 blows me away, I might still get the trade. Otherwise, I'm probably already out.
I think you're out.
But we'll see.
We shall see.
We shall see. What else did I read? Now we can talk about this. So I ran out of stuff to read before all this stuff came. Like I was like in a nothing to read
I really
area.
wish I had your problem.
And so I like to go back and reread stuff. And I've always wanted to reread Steampunk Catechism or Steampunk This Is Man of Patron. Because I'm a big Bacalo fan. And this is some of Piccolo. And this is some of my favorite stuff by him. It's very steampunky, and it's just his art is just amazing, and the layouts are just really cool, and I don't know, I just am in love with this art. But this story really drags. It's hard to. Look at all those words, and everybody's really talky. Like it's not just that there's lots of words, but all the characters use 20 words to say what would normally take 2 words to say. It's just that kind of sort of
Who wrote it?
overly poetic,
You
talky
guys.
stuff. It's written by someone who I usually like, Joe Kelly.
Oh, yeah.
I usually like Joe Kelly.
Well, you get it right for the time.
But, yeah, I mean, this isn't that old, but...
Did that come out of Image?
Yeah, it was part of the cliffhanger. So it was like after Danger Girl and Battle Chasers, it came out. It was like the second wave of those books.
Well, they went in through that phase with Image where everybody was like, oh, it's just stupid superhero splash page artwork. And then people had to start writing it to death.
Yeah, I guess.
So it could be
so
like
anyway,
that.
I don't know. Like I say, it's definitely intentional. Like it's the style of writing that he's trying to do. Everybody's talking kind of in this kind of poetic Shakespearean type of, over talking or whatever. It just, for me, it just didn't flow very well, and it just made it kind of a chore to get through, even though the art is phenomenal. And the design work is phenomenal. Anyway, so I have a volume 2 that I'm going to try and get through, but I wasn't super motivated to get to volume 2 after volume 1, just because
Really?
it was
Because of
a
how
bit of a
wordy
chore and how wordy
Sure,
it
how to
was.
get through it. Yeah.
So we'll see. I'll get through it eventually. I would like to reread it. It's just I was just so excited about rereading it because it had been so long, and I just really loved the art, and it was a bit of a letdown. Bit of a letdown.
You know what I really want to reread?
What?
Electra Assassin.
Oh, that's another book that's really hard to get through. It's good. The art's amazing. But man, Frank Miller wrote that book to death too.
I've been wanting to break that out and just sit down and read it.
At first I used to think it was just confusing, but I don't think it's so much confusing. I think just Frank Miller, his writing style of that was rough.
I would really like to try to reread Straight Toasters and see.
Yeah, that's on my bucket list too. Need to get back to that sometime. Try and absorb that book and understand. I don't know when that'll happen. But Scott went and he read. Did you read all three of them, Scott?
I did.
He read.
That was the only thing that I had.
Don said this was the best thing he read in like 5 years.
So here you go. Lock and Key.
Yes. Is this
3
the best
volumes.
thing you've read in
so excited to hear
5 years?
I don't know if it's the best thing that I've read in 5 years, but it is very, very good.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Very good.
Nice.
You
Scott
know,
likes
you let me borrow the first
volume.
which
Not the
was,
1 and 2.
That's right, not the hardback. It
Uh-huh.
was basically the first 6 issue type of
Correct.
thing, or whatever you want to say. Which was good. It was a nice setup, but it really, because it's so much setup almost within that first 6, that it really doesn't. It didn't feel like to me that it really pulled you in entirely.
Sure.
I mean, you got a good setup, whatever the heck else, but not too much. And from there on, though, I mean, as they keep finding more and more keys, it goes off. It is very good. You know, so essentially the setup is that this family, they're basically has a tragedy in the family to start off. Okay, the father is a counselor at a school. It turns out one of the kids that he's counseling goes kind of off the rails, and basically not too much of a spoiler, but essentially because it happened so early, kills the father. Okay. So the one thing that he had always told the wife was that he should take, if anything was to happen to him, take the family to the house that they had way out on the East Coast or something like this. Okay,
It seems like a bad idea.
and they're living there on the West, and stuff. Yeah, I don't know what the hell he was thinking about that either. But anyway, so he basically the family all packs up and they move out east. Okay, they get to this house that the father grew up in, and things of this nature, and they start finding these keys, and these keys allow people to do basically kind of break the laws of our world, in different ways here and there. And so the whole setup is basically that there is somebody from another dimension or another universe, whatever you want to say, that's trying to break open this gate between our worlds, and they need the keys in order to do it. And this person was actually somewhat unlocked by the father years before. So essentially the kids are trying to make up for the father's misdeeds in a way, and stuff. But it's got a very good setup. The writing there by Joe Hill, you can definitely tell that's something that the apple didn't fall far from the tree there.
Sure.
And Stephen King's son there. That his characterization is really good. I almost got the feeling here again that the ending goes really fast paced, but I think that was kind of the way that they were flowing everything. I have the feeling he had a story that he wanted to write and make sure that he got it all out there.
Gotcha.
With what he was setting up and the whole ideas and everything behind it, you could have kept going probably for more issues and things of that nature, because you just could have had so many keys that you could have set up.
You still could, though.
But here's the thing, though, is that I felt like it moved very well at a pace that did not bore you at all.
Oh yeah.
Every episode, every chunk, or whatever you want to say, it moves at a very quick pace. It's telling you what you need to know and building the characters as it's going along. I mean, quite frankly, me reading that, and how he was doing the characters and everything else. I mean, by the time you get to as you're going through this, you're laughing, you're kind of going, oh my gosh, did he go there? Being surprised. For me, I mean, I felt a range of emotions, there. Happy, funny, sad, as it all comes to the end, and how he wraps it all up. I mean, it's bittersweet in a lot of ways. And, but there's some, and the other thing too, Gabriel Rodriguez, the art that he does is just fantastic. And I have no idea, is it this one? I thought it was volume 2. The one where he does this whole Calvin and Hobbes type of thing.
Oh yeah.
Type stuff
Yeah,
where
I forgot about that.
he's got that. Basically, the young boy. There's basically three kids. A young, probably what would you say, 7, 8, something like that. Then you have a young teenage girl, and then you have an older teenage boy.
Yeah.
And the young boy is the one constantly finding the keys, and they tell you something there a little bit about why that happens. But I don't know if Gabriel Rodriguez did that art there for like this Calvin and Hobbes kind of what would you call it, style there or something like that. But it's very good in how that goes. There's another one issue, so to speak, in which is it that one in which they basically talk about like 30 days in the life, type thing, and how they're finding the keys, and things of this nature, and different stuff that's happening. And that was really good and very amusing, and stuff. I mean, because there's one of them in which plants are coming alive or something like this, and all the kids end up with these scratches, and they kind of go, "What the hell? Did you get into a fight, with a bunch of cats or whatever else, and things," and making fun of them, but. Like I said, the art is very good for what they're doing here. You can tell all the different kids. I love it. There's one room in which you go through and you kind of turn into a ghost in a way, but your body, kind of falls down like you're dead. And the art there, when he shows that, of somebody, falling down dead. I think it's in that one. The little boy especially, where he's like, and the daughter comes by, the sister or whatever you want to say comes by and is like, okay, that's enough, quit playing, or whatever else. And meanwhile, you just see his body on the floor, kind of, But, I honestly feel like this is a really great series of books, and I don't know. I can't say really enough on the fact of how well the pacing really was on it.
Yeah.
I really felt like he had a story that he wanted to tell, and he kept it going without making it feel boring, and yet building up the characterization. Yeah, that one in there, and stuff. But
yeah, he's all like twisted.
He's all like, ugh.
Then he pops up.
And then he pops up and scaring the
Yeah, it's funny because like that he turns into the ghost, and he's like. He goes into all the rooms and he finds out what everybody's doing.
Yes.
And then he goes to the sister and tells her that and she's like, "Why are you sneaking in on my, or how do you know that, or whatever?"
Yeah. But yeah, and in the way that they even told the story, in different chunks, because you're here at the beginning, you get the setup of the young kids, kind of how this type of stuff's going, them learning about some of the keys and things. Finally, it doesn't really even happen until the third book, in which they actually end up going back in time, I guess, a little bit, where they can visit, stuff that happened before and actually see what happened with the father and his group of friends.
Right.
Sure.
Which was a very interesting way to go about it, because of the fact that by this time you already know little bits and pieces. You know that something happened, but it went back there, filled in the gaps at a very quick pace yet again that you were very interested in, because now it was giving you you had already had these other characters now that you had met, and now this was giving you a little bit more of a frame of reference of where they came from and things of this nature. So
it really flips it.
Oh yeah.
What you think about the bad guy, the main bad guy.
Very true too.
Flips
yes.
it, and you're like,
it almost makes him a little bit more of a sympathetic figure in some cases, a little bit. I mean, the bad is still just a bad person, but some of the other twists, and turns though of especially with the kind of what can happen with the ghost world, type of thing coming back, some of those things that you just didn't see coming. I can't remember I think it may have been the end of maybe the first volume in which something happened in there in which you're just kind of like, oh wow, I didn't expect it to go there, or something. Maybe it wasn't. Well, maybe the part with the one lady's mother, and things. I think you knew something tragic was going on there, but you didn't know quite as much.
Yeah,
I thought they took good risks, I guess is what I should say. Interesting risks, in the book, to try to keep things going. Some nice twists and turns that maybe you didn't see coming, but yet fit, very well within the story and what they were trying to tell. So,
yeah, I mean, usually I get bored. Like sit down and read, and you kind of have to go through it. I mean, that thing, like you said, the page. I mean, I just tore through it.
Yeah,
pacing, it was great. What did you think about the end? Did you think the end was kind of a cop out at all?
The end, leading up to what do you mean? The epilogue, or actually leading up to the whole
With the young,
thing in the cage?
with the young kid.
With the young kid, I did not. Personally, I did not. I thought that the end with the whole epilogue portion there with the young boy, I thought, to me, made a lot of sense. For where they wanted to go with it. You could say that either way because of the fact that it makes it a little bit more happier ending, I suppose. But for all intents and purposes, how the story was told, he had it. To me, it didn't seem like something that was, let's just pop this out of the blue.
Right.
He had set that up very well throughout the rest of the story.
Well, yeah, but
so
it did almost like the double, because it's like, okay, we're gonna do this, and then this is gonna happen, and then boom, okay, no, we're gonna take it this way, and you know what I mean? Because like it took a little, if I'm remembering it right.
Well, they're trying to pull on your emotions a little bit at the end, is what I thought. They try to make you think one thing, that like essentially that the boy is dead, type thing, and then they twist things around in which it gives it a little bit happier ending. But it all felt, for me, I didn't think it was a cop-out because, like I said, I felt like he had set up that potential for an ending throughout the rest of the story. Yeah. In Volume 2, they do something, in there in which you're kind of like, oh, well, that's kind of cool and neat and everything else. And that's why the ending didn't bother me, because it felt like to me that he purposely put that in so that you wouldn't think it was a
talking
cop-out
about
later on.
the cabinet, the box, or whatever.
No, I'm talking about the fact of the whole the fact that they could jump into animal bodies.
Yeah.
Type thing.
Right.
They set that up, and then that's how I thought that the epilogue at the end, kind of allows a way for someone to come back.
Yeah.
So, but there's a lot of that. I mean, the whole thing too has a bit of a, would you say, religious edge, or type of thing, a little bit more. I don't know. Religious isn't necessarily the word, but spiritual.
It's
type thing.
It's almost kind of like the typical Stephen King, The Stand, good versus evil fight kind of.
There is some of that, yeah. There's definitely a good versus evil type of thing in this, yeah. I don't know. You should definitely read it, Drew, if you haven't read all of them.
It's good, man.
I will read it.
I really felt like it,
really good.
after
that someday should be now.
Nope.
Really felt like after the initial 6 issues, while it was good, just it got even better as it went along there.
You will not be disappointed.
I don't think I will. I'm gonna let it keep building up.
Yeah, now that we built it all up though for you too, you're exactly right. You'll go, I don't know what the hell you guys seen this thing. Shoot.
No, I liked the first. I've read the first.
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
It was good. Just haven't got around to it. Well, the book's like $50, so I was like,
that's true too. Yeah.
That's how much I wanted to read it. So
it was definitely one that I was interested in. So thank you much, Don.
Yeah.
Because after reading yours, like I said, it wasn't bad. It wasn't something that necessarily felt like I had to, finish off. But then going through these, especially to me, I think it was Volume 2 that, it just moving at a hell of a pace and things of that nature, and really kind of.
Yeah, it's really. I like the different. I like the head key, the one where they can just go in and pull all
and
this
they
stuff
definitely
out.
use that a lot. And there's other ones, that you can tell they use less than others,
Oh yeah. Well, there were some in the back. I don't even know that they even used it all.
Yeah.
You could, and it was kind of neat when they found that one key with the clock where you could go back in time.
Yeah.
And see stuff, and then how it was the one was fixed, so they
Yeah.
couldn't go forward past 1999 or.
Yeah, you essentially had a 1,000-year range there, or whatever. You could play around with them for the time factor, but part of the idea here with Lock and Key is the fact that the family that they're concentrating on, if you go back into the history, they've found out a way to capture the essence, I guess, or something like this, soul or whatever of these things from another dimension that were just inherently kind of evil, fight, basically the strongest wins the spoils, or whatever. But they figured out a way to kind of capture this essence in any keys, and then as they're forging these keys, they could give them different powers. And so then these keys are just getting handed down from generation to generation. until you get to the generation that the story's about here. So.
And of course, once you turn 18, you forget all about it.
Well, and that was the other thing that was with it. Yeah, it was inherent to being kids, type things, the younger ones. And then as you got older, and you passed 18, you forgot a whole heck of a lot about it, even though they could kind of remember vague, recollections of stuff. The finding the keys and being aware of them and things was pretty much gone from the memory.
Cool.
Interesting things that they did in there. Quite a few rules in there. I think they did a pretty good job of keeping to them, and stuff what they set out.
Cool.
But good.
Awesome.
It's awesome.
I don't know. There was something on there.
Something on your face. Why are you wearing a Superman shirt? You really like Superman.
I picked it up out of the drawer and put it on. I have a Superman shirt.
Why?
Superman's okay.
Not near as cool as Boba Fett.
Right.
Well, no, but I mean, it was a cheap shirt. I was like, I'll buy a Superman shirt.
Or what? Space Invaders, man.
Space
Space
Invaders.
Invaders rock.
Alright.
Anything else?
I think that's all I had. You want to talk about Wonder Woman?
I don't know.
Did you watch that movie?
Yes.
You weren't as impressed as I was.
I was not
I
impressed
like Wonder Woman,
at
yeah.
all.
You didn't like it either. Wow.
It was
Okay.
a bad movie. Well,
I don't think it was bad. It just was mediocre.
Yeah.
it was like, I'd give it like,
It was definitely.
I'd give it like 6 stars. 6 out of 10.
I was thinking like,
Yeah, I'd probably go a little bit higher than that. I'd probably go 7 or 8.
No
out of
way.
10.
I was thinking
Definitely
like
7.
4.5
Wow. You liked it
Wow.
less than I did.
to 5. Because I would give Batman versus Superman like a 5.
That'd be like a 3.
And I liked Batman versus Superman more than I liked Wonder Woman.
Really?
That's surprising.
Wow. That is awful.
That is awful.
Batman
What would
vs.
you give
Superman was
Suicide Squad?
such
Like a 2?
Oh, yeah.
Movie.
That was a 2.
The Suicide Squad's like a 1.5.
Really? And see, that's
It's like
where I
a
would
2.
differ,
Batman
too.
vs Superman is like a 3 or 4.
Obviously,
Wonder
I
Woman's like a
have-
5 or 6.
Have totally crap taste. Because
Here's the thing. If I was
Batman vs Superman to me was by far the worst of those 3.
If I was gonna
and
sit
Suicide
down-
Squad is a little bit better to me than Batman vs Superman.
No,
So,
not at all.
but I don't know those characters quite as well from this
I
comic
don't either.
perspective.
If I was
either,
gonna
so.
sit down and watch one of those 3 movies again, it would be Batman versus Superman.
No, God, no. I can't even make it through the damn special edition that I've got. I keep wanting to maybe watch that. But
I would.
that movie was so bad, I cannot force myself to spend another 2.5 hours
if
wasting
I-
my life for that movie.
Never watch Wonder Woman ever again. Like, I'll be fine.
Really? See,
Yeah,
I enjoy
I
it.
agree.
I will find the 2 hours and 27 minutes of something else to do.
Really?
Okay, so like, it was way too long.
Yes. It just dragged on forever, didn't it?
It drug on forever.
And that last battle was so lame.
So lame. The CGI was terrible.
Oh, I did have bad CGI.
Oh my god, the CGI was terrible. Like, it hurt my eyes. Like, when she's fake slow-mo running, and there's flames all behind her, and it's like cartoon flames. I'm like, really? You know what?
And maybe that's just something
if-
that shows up more from the smaller screen.
Yeah.
'Cause I
If
didn't
they,
feel that.
if
that-
they would,
I mean, I felt like the CGI for Ares was less than
Like
good
they ran
or
out of
whatever
money.
type
Yeah.
thing. But other than that, I didn't feel that there was much of a. And I think more of the problem was the fact that they kept an old man's head on Ares. The freaking
Yeah.
Professor Lupin on freaking Ares.
Chris
body,
Pine
which
is-
funny or something
Chris
like that.
Pine is a terrible actor.
He is a terrible actor.
See, and I would disagree with that
Oh my
too.
God.
I
The only thing
found-
I like him in is Star Trek. I like
Yeah,
him in Star
he
Trek.
can play
Yeah,
Captain
but that's
Kirk.
because he can play Captain Kirk.
But anything
essentially-
else, he's
He
horrible.
cannot.
William Shatner.
He was terrible in that movie.
No,
The
he wasn't.
dialogue was terrible in that movie. The CGI was horrible.
The only part I like,
It was way too freaking long.
I kind of like some of the early, like when she was on Thermopylae or whatever that place is. Some of that stuff is okay. And when the soldiers first came in and they had that big battle, that was kind of cool.
That was okay.
But everything after that point, the only thing good about the movie was Gal Gadot. Like, she did do a good job. Like, I enjoyed her presence, like her charisma. I mean, she didn't really have anything interesting to do with the whole movie,
No.
but just her charisma and her presence was a bright
She did
spot
great,
in the movie.
yes.
Definitely. But everything else in that movie was
I
mediocre.
thought Chris
or
Pine
worse.
did a good job too.
Oh, he's horrible.
Oh no. Oh no. If they would have just like cut out the slow mo out of the fight scenes, you probably could have shaved off like 10 minutes. Of that movie, easy.
I do agree that.
And it's like if you can't if you
It felt
can't
like
follow,
the Zack Snyder type of.
if you can't follow the fight
there.
without slowing it down every time she swept the leg or whatever, it's like then when you have your DVD, you can hit the slow mo and watch it in
pause,
slow motion.
yeah.
If you can't keep up with it, like come on, give me a break. It is bad, dude. I don't know. Like halfway through the movie, like I looked over at Barbara and I'm like, this movie is boring.
It is. It's just dry.
And she's like, yep. And then we got to the end of it, and I'm like, this movie is bad. And she's like, yep.
No kidding. Wow.
It was boring, and then it didn't even get good at the end.
The
Well, I guess-
only thing,
It's like it led up to something and nothing good ever happened.
the only thing that I liked about it was the end.
Because it was over?
Well, no, close to the end, when she finally stabbed the general guy or whatever, through
the fake Aries guy.
fake Aries guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. I'm like, so now she's gonna get distracted, and then he's gonna pull the sword out and come back to life, and they're gonna fight. I did not see the other
twist.
guy as
Oh,
Aries.
jeez.
I didn't see the twist at all.
I seen that one way back.
It might have been because I was like trying to stab my eyeballs out
That
because I
could
was
have
so
been,
freaking
yeah.
I
bored.
think it's because you're slapping yourself.
Because because that to me that was the only
I
fault of the movie was I felt
actually
like it was
thought-
predictable, throughout. Because I seen that one coming a mile away, and I knew that she was the weapon and whatever the heck else type of stuff.
I actually thought,
but much past that, you lump me in with the rest of the lemmings that went and spent all this money on it. Because like I said, I enjoyed it.
Maybe it was
Thought
better
there
on
was
the big
great-
screen.
I thought
I
it was
don't
great
know.
acting or decent acting for a comic book
Okay.
movie. And
When-
I thought it moved at a fairly good pace. There's a little bit of stuff there in the middle that gets slowed down, but overall, it kept my interest. So.
Once they have the big battle in Thermopylae and they go, what happens after? There's no action.
No, there's not, but
the
it's
mascara.
no,
It's
it's
not
what?
Thermopylae, it's the mascara.
Okay, whatever. Once they leave her island
yeah. Once they leave her island,
and there's
though,
that battle with the soldiers,
it's the
nothing
whole,
happens.
right, but it's the whole misplacing of somebody in
It's a
an
fish
odd
out of water
world.
story.
It is. It is.
And it's not very good.
Really, that
And-
depends on how well that you enjoy that.
And they
you
could
know,
have
and
cut
and
out.
here again, I thought that Gal Gadot did such a good job as that role that she sold that fish out of water part in there and
She's okay.
added a little bit of humor and things of that nature to it
That-
as things were going along.
When-
So
That
you know.
scene when he gives her the watch and she doesn't hear anything, and then they go back and then replay it. Like, that's horrible dialogue, and it's horrible acting. Like, that's Chris Pine terrible.
Yeah.
Like, that's the part where I looked at the movie and just went, oh my god.
really, and see, I didn't
I'm
feel
like-
that way at all.
I'm like,
I mean,
this-
the dialogue, I'll give you that, but
This dialogue is terrible,
The dialogue in a
and
comic
Chris
book
Pine
movie
is
in
horrible.
general can sometimes be that.
Here's the thing.
But I didn't find that the dialogue was, like I said, overall dialogue-wise, I guess I didn't
Overall,
think
it was fine. That one scene, it like hit me, and I'm like, I'm watching a train wreck. I'm like, this is terrible.
Wow.
And the whole the 3-man group, the sidekicks
The
or whatever,
sidekicks, yeah.
Oh, they were not defined at all.
they were not funny.
They weren't good.
Nothing about them was funny.
Nothing
Like, they could have taken them out of the movie completely and like saved us like another
And that
30
one guy
minutes.
was like really annoying. The like smarmy like little guy. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
I mean, if you like,
Hmm.
the only reason that they were there was for the picture. Like, that's the only reason, because they had to fill the picture out, so they had to create this backstory for the 3
I don't
freaking
even
guys.
realize that.
It was bad, man. It's like, if you take all of them out, I mean, you get that movie down to like a minute or an hour 20, like maybe an hour and a half, it might be watchable.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
Just saying.
I
And
understand.
here's the thing. It's like, I'm like, I grew up with more Marvel. I've never really been a Wonder Woman fan. But everybody was like, oh, this movie's so good. It's like DC's best movie. And I kept saying, well, that ain't saying much. Because you
It
got
is
Suicide
not saying
Squad.
much.
And everybody's like, oh, this movie's so good. And like, I was excited to watch it. Like, I wanted to watch it. Like, I went into it with open eyes. And I'm just like, oh, it's bad. It's like, I would rather watch like the worst Marvel movie than rewatch Wonder Woman. Like, I would watch Ang Lee's Hulk. Like, before
That's
I
not
watched
a bad
Wonder
movie,
Woman
actually.
again. It's not good.
It's not bad.
It's not good.
It's not great.
Okay, I would rather watch the Ed Norton Hulk.
That's not bad either.
Dude, that abomination fight at the end of
That's
that
pretty
is
cool.
an abomination.
No,
it's
it's
like
alright.
terrible.
It's alright.
What's the worst Marvel movie?
It's probably
It's
the
probably the Hulk.
whole-
Are you
Or
talking about
Daredevil,
cinematic?
but, I mean, if you talk.
Are you talking about the like since Iron Man, like the cinematic universe?
Yeah.
It's Hulk.
Yeah, it's probably Hulk.
Hulk. Iron Man 3
Iron
would
Man
come in a
2
second.
maybe?
No, Iron Man 2's good.
Mickey Rourke.
Oh my god, dude.
Mickey Rourke is good. I agree. He's the shining
And
star.
the Shining Star.
The first
is,
Thor is not
Is Sam
terribly
Rockwell.
good.
Sam Rockwell is the Shining Star
Yeah, he
of
is.
Iron Man 2.
I agree with that 100%. Thor is not great. The first Thor.
Unfortunately, I would agree with that.
still
My problem
better
was
than-
is
It's okay.
that Thor
Still
was.
better than Wonder
It's still
Woman.
better than Hulk.
It's definitely better than Wonder Woman.
I think
doubt.
the problem
It's probably better
is
than Hulk too.
we've been
Maybe we're just spoiled. From the
we've
Marvel
been
ones.
spoiled for Marvel, and I'm mad that movie made as much money as it made.
Right? It just sets a bad precedent.
I am so mad that all those people went and spent all that money to see it. Because like I was talking to my kids and Parker's like, I know some of my friends that went and saw it like 3-4 times. I'm like, those people should be shot. Like, do
Wouldn't go
not
that far.
reward a bad movie.
Right?
Because now they're just going to take all that money
And make
and
more
make
bad
more
movies.
bad movies.
Because they think
like
that's
Justice
encouraged.
League.
You're encouraging it.
It's encouraging it. Okay, I'm sorry. They shouldn't be shot. But those people should be at least pointed out that it's a bad movie to them.
Yes.
And I kind of get it. Like,
Wow.
You
You
know
pointed it out to me, and I don't know. Maybe I need to watch it again.
I kind of get it.
Waste my life
'Cause,
because I don't know.
I
Like I
was a
said,
kid.
I did not think it was bad at all.
I was a kid. You know,
I
one
mean,
of
I
my favorite
understand what
movies
both
as a
you
kid.
guys are saying.
I
But
love Flash Gordon.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's a terrible movie. It's a horrible movie, but I love it.
But
'Cause
it's
I saw
fun,
it when I
though.
was a kid.
It's at least campy and goofy and fun.
And so I
ridiculous.
kind of get like I'm a kid and it's a superhero movie, and so it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And
I'm not expecting kids to understand.
no, but
But adults,
I don't know.
that's what I understand. Sorry, Scott.
Yeah, love me in there.
And
You know what?
Scott didn't come out and say it's like the greatest thing ever.
That is true.
And so I'm giving him, so he's fine. But some people came out of those adults and they're like, this was so great. It's like, really? Have you seen a good movie?
I think
Do you know what a good movie is? Because this is not
I
it.
think people were just so pissed off at Batman versus Superman.
That they just wanted
that
something to latch
Wonder
on
Woman
to.
was like awesome.
And I understand that it
and
was.
quite honestly, what you're saying right there could be me, and right there.
And maybe it's just because it
because
wasn't dark and
between
gritty.
between Batman versus Superman and
Man of Steel.
Suicide Squad. Between those two train wreck movies, I was totally. My expectations were so low. It's bad, And
But maybe that's
going in there and going, hey, the first half, like you said, is very entertaining, or at least the first third, type stuff where she's at,
I'll give
and
you that.
things. It moves along pretty good. Chris Pine, obviously, I don't have the problem that you two have with him. I thought he's very,
Did you see that movie, The
charismatic,
Finest Hours?
type things. I have not seen that.
Oh my god, he's horrible in that.
But
It's so bad.
But I saw, what was it, Into the Woods, and talk about a movie that's awful. That movie is awful, and he's like the shining star in that damn
Did
thing.
you see the Jack
So-
Ryan movie he
so-
did?
Yeah, I thought he was actually halfway decent in that too. So, I don't have a problem with Chris Pine that you guys do. I thought he's got the charisma. I thought he played off well there with her. That type of stuff.
I think that was awkward.
I didn't find that the crew. I agree with you that there probably wasn't the biggest charisma, but quite frankly, I could pick out probably the same things with Captain America and his crew when that one happened. They didn't build up any of that type of stuff. In the Captain America movie, you basically had Captain America, Bucky, and these other little guys that came along for the ride. There was no development.
I'll be honest with you.
Type things.
I saw Captain America the original one time. I don't own it. I've seen it once.
That one might be the worst.
No, it's not. It's still not the worst. It's still not worse.
It's decent watching,
So,
but it's
that's
not
right.
great.
I mean, it's still
got
decent.
the-
So I guess
it's
where I'm
got-
going though is I don't need the you could do better with that, but for the movie, as long as it was, type things and things, they didn't need to build up that. All you need to know was that she had a little crew, with those type of things.
Right.
They've done it in other movies, whatever the heck else. It didn't phase me there, type stuff. Some of the battlefield scenes and everything else, very good, decent action in there. The part that I thought was really the slowest was when they're going to that little town, or whatever the heck else.
Did
that's
that
gonna
go on
get bombed.
forever?
That's where it really slows down, and then it picks back up there again, type stuff. So,
And you know what? I mean,
No, okay, so
when
I was,
they're on the front line, and so she just takes out the entire German army
Yeah.
by herself.
that was kind
Like,
of cool, I guess.
It was kind of cool, but even that when she's ducked down and they got the machine gun fire on her, and then Chris Pine's like, "Hey, she's distracted him. Let's go get him." And everybody jumps over and they charge him. I'm like, even at the point It's a point where she's crouched down and they got the gun on her, and I mean it's just bullet after bullet after bullet for like I don't know. It felt like 10
But
hours
quite
of
frankly,
her
you could
sitting
pick
there.
out any other movie that does that all the time. That could be,
I
mean, to my point there, I mean, granted, it could be, funny with the way that you're saying it, and type of stuff. But quite frankly, you could probably pick that out of any other movie. I mean, now you've gotten to the point in which you just hated it so much that you can find any line and screw it to being that
I don't
bad.
even know if that's an actual line. I
Here's
just
here's my story. So we were watching it like Friday night, and I was starting to fall asleep, and my wife was starting to fall asleep too, and I was like, I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna finish it in the morning because I didn't want to sleep through it or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So I stopped it, and then I were gonna watch it the next morning. I said, Christy, do you want to watch it? She's like, no, I don't need to watch the rest. I said, I don't need to watch the rest. I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna power through because I'm sure everybody said this was really good, so I'm sure it's gonna get better. Like the end is just gonna stick it.
No.
Oh no, it got worse.
Gosh, no. Yeah.
No.
I would agree that probably the first half is better than the second half.
Oh my god.
You know what? People are entitled to like whatever they want to like.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry if I seem harsh, but I mean it.
No, but that's what it is with movies though too. It's everybody's opinion, on different things too.
God,
So-
it was bad.
And a lot of times,
I'm not gonna say it was bad.
It wasn't bad. It was not
mediocre. It was just mediocre, is what I felt. And for the DC cinematic universe, maybe mediocre is good.
It could be.
Right?
Could be.
It's not horrible, so maybe mediocre is the new 9.0. I don't know.
I still give Batman vs Superman a 5, and I give Wonder Woman like a 4.5.
Oh.
No, I
Yeah.
disagree with that.
And like I said,
But that's
The
thing,
only
too.
good
I
part
guess
of Batman
Suicide
vs
Squad.
Superman was when Batman was like storming that one room and fighting all those guys. That was the only good part of that whole movie.
yeah,
About
but
that.
it's got Batman,
Yeah, like I said.
I
I'm
don't know.
gonna go back
and
watch
it's got
Batman
Jesse
forever.
Eisenberg.
I'm just not into.
He's
I
a
just-
better actor
I'm-
than Chris Pine.
So you take a great actor
No,
like Jesse Eisenberg
right.
and you ruin
He
that
plays
hero,
the
man.
same character every single
I love
flippin'
Jesse
time.
I
Eisenberg.
don't care,
No.
man.
He was horrible in
It's
that.
like freaking George Clooney. They play the same actor every
He's-
single time.
He's
They
better
just
than Chris
whatever.
Pine.
Oh yeah, definitely better than Chris
I
Pine.
don't know.
I mean, to me, that's the big difference between Marvel and DC. So Marvel, like you said,
The
Sam
characters.
Rockwell. Marvel has these great character actors that they intersperse in the movies, or they just get these great actors.
Well, they get good actors in
They
general.
get really
Yeah.
good actors like
And like DC has Chris Pine. See the
Like I
problem?
say, no.
And Henry Cavill.
Chris Pine
And
is
Ben
not the
Affleck.
problem.
Okay, here's
Ben Affleck. I get.
listen. Marvel made an awesome Ant-Man movie.
I know, right?
It's fucking Ant-Man.
And it's fun, and it's good.
And it's fun, it's funny, it's good. It's got funny parts, it's scary. It's not scary, but I mean, like
it's
the bad
tense,
guy.
dramatic,
Yeah,
yeah.
you got the dramatic type stuff.
That's like 10 times better than Wonder Woman.
I know.
Ant-Man.
I know.
Like, how the hell do you make an Ant-Man better movie? A better Ant-Man movie than effing
Than one of
Wonder
your-
Woman?
I don't know. 'Cause I don't even like Ant-Man.
I don't either, but I love Ant-Man in the movie. He's great in Civil War, too.
Oh, he is fantastic in Civil War. I will give that.
Does anybody have some orange slices? Freaking love that.
Right.
And then Robert Downey Jr. is like, does any of our guys have any superpowers that we don't know about?
It's
Thanks
the whole
for
guard.
thinking of
It's the
me.
whole Guardians of the Galaxy thing. It's like that was a great movie,
Oh, yeah.
and it's like you took these no-name characters, you made a great movie. And you take Wonder Woman, and you make a mediocre movie. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
And I'm not even gonna see Justice League. I mean, I even watched it on video.
We'll probably
I mean,
watch
I've
it
already
on
said
video.
I'm not gonna go to the theater to see these movies, and I waited for Wonder Woman on video. I don't know. I may just be out.
Just might be out of DC. I don't know. I know. I'll
The
probably
only-
go and
the
see
only-
Justice League, but
There's two parts
I'll
in the
be
trailer that
I'll
I've
be
seen.
among the lemmings that will enjoy Justice League. So, and I'm sure it's going to be a
I
total
love-
fest, but
I love when Aquaman is riding the parademon down through the building.
exactly right.
Like, I love that.
Jason Momoa is going to be between him and Gal Gadot. Those two are going to be worth the price of admission for
The
it.
I
Flash
hate-
guy looks alright too.
So,
I don't know what his name is.
I think I have a problem with that just because I think the guy who does the Flash on
TV should have played the
does
Flash. in
does
the
so well,
movie. Yeah.
type things, and it's that tweak up.
They
I
should've-
think you're right. I think he will do well, and from what
I
I've
mean-
seen, from trailer wise, he seems to be the comic relief there a little bit.
And then the part, yeah,
much
and
is
then the
gonna be
part
there.
where they're all standing around Gordon.
Yeah.
And then they're all gone, and
they
then
all
Flash is still
disappeared,
there.
yeah.
He's like, "Oh, they all disappeared. That's kind of annoying." And then
Yeah.
boom, he's gone.
Boom, he's
Like
gone.
I chuckled a little bit.
Yeah.
Like that's funny.
But come
They're
on.
they're trying very hard.
Is that original or is that anything else? I mean, is that great dialogue? You could make that just stupid. Oh, he looks around, and So come on.
But it's funny. That's the thing. It's like the Wonder Woman. It didn't really
Was it
seem
supposed
like
to
it
be
had a
serious?
sense
I don't
of
know.
humor. It's like the Marvel
It
movies.
had a sense of humor the whole time when she's a fish out of water. There,
Here's
type
the
thing.
thing.
Yeah, but it was a situational type humor. It wasn't
So-
like any kind of
Here's the thing.
like witty.
I don't even like. I
I
watch a
don't know.
movie.
Some of the discussions and things that they had, I thought was kind of funny. So
I'm a horrible critic of movies. Like I'll watch a movie, and like I just watch it. Like nothing jumps out at me.
and see,
But
I
I
probably go
swear
the
to
other
God-
way around, in which I am very forgiving of movies. I will admit that.
When I sat there and that's why it's like 10 times like just like I watched that and he's like, "This is my watch and this tells me." I don't even remember what the fuck he said, but I'm sitting there watching that scene and I'm just like, this is terrible. It's horrible. Like it's bad, and I don't know. Like, I don't normally do that. Well, we just trashed Wonder Woman, and everybody loved it.
Except for me,
Scott still loves it.
waving the flag
I
for
know.
all us lemmings out there.
And like I said, it
All those
wasn't the
clones.
worst. I just expected more from all the glowing reviews, and it was just mediocre. I'm not going to trash it like you did, but I think it's just mediocre, and I expected more.
Here's the thing. Like,
Here's the thing.
I hate. Here's the thing.
Oh
Here's
no,
the
we got to
thing. Here's the
start
thing.
it
Here's the
again.
thing.
Come on, would you just stop?
You know what?
Can I get
like-
the last word in?
No.
Alright.
Like Suicide Squad is a bad movie.
Yes.
I did not like it, but there are people that love that movie.
None
You
of
know
us
what?
saw it.
Yes, there are.
You know, and I may fall, I don't love that movie by any means,
Yeah,
but
nobody
I
loves
might
that
fall
movie.
into that
Guy-
camp where it's
Guy that I
I'm
work
somewhat
with.
mediocre. But God, the more I think about that movie, the more I think it was just bad. So, I mean, there's some things
I rewatched
my problem
it.
is on that one is the fact that Margot Robbie and Will Smith, and even the guy who does Diablo, do so good. I thought from a character perspective, but the stuff that they were given was such crap.
Yes.
That
Will Smith
the-
is the only thing that makes that movie watchable.
No, Margot Robbie.
Oh, Margot Robbie does really good too.
She's kind of funny. She's got some good lines.
I think the interaction between her and Will Smith is great too.
That
You know,
that
but I
Version-
That's it.
that version of the Joker. I just,
Oh yeah, that's horrible.
But yes, I am not I don't like Jared Leto's
How do we
Joker
get
very
Suicide
well.
Squad?
I don't
So-
know. So like, there's a guy at work, and he's like, I watched that Batman vs Superman. That movie was great. And I just looked at him like, you're a fucking idiot. And this guy's my boss. I was like, you're stupid. I'm like, that is a terrible movie. He's like, well, I'm not really into the comics or anything. It was a good movie. I'm like, no, it was not a good movie.
And why somebody said, "Oh, I don't know the comic"? It's like it has nothing to do with the comic books.
I say that though sometimes. I mean, I said it this one with the Wonder Woman one too.
I don't-
like I said, I don't know what it is. I enjoyed the Wonder Woman movie.
And
I don't know.
I'm not a big Wonder Woman comic
So,
fan. I don't read the comics.
I don't know that comic either.
I'm like, you're an idiot. Like, Batman vs Superman is not a good movie.
But Batman vs Superman is a bad movie.
It's bad.
I will agree with that one. And I don't know that.
I hated that movie when I saw it.
Batman
When I
vs.
first
Superman?
saw it, I hated it. Batman vs Superman.
That's just bored.
I don't know if I. Yeah, I think I
No,
was
I
more in
hate
that
it.
case. I don't think that I hated
I
it.
was mad that they made a terrible movie.
There was some of that type of stuff.
Well, I knew it was gonna be terrible.
I don't know.
Well, I didn't.
I didn't feel that bad about it. What really made me feel so bad about Batman vs Superman is when I got the extended edition given to me from somebody, and I started to watch it, and I just like, I can't make it through this movie again. So I still haven't watched that type of stuff. So I watched the thing because everybody was telling me, oh,
I'm
the
gonna
extra 20 minutes makes so much more sense in this thing. I
It's
still
not that it
don't know.
didn't make sense. It was
So-
just
20 extra minutes?
Yes,
Yeah, they added
exactly
20
right, and that's
extra
why I
minutes.
said I can't make it through there. So.
The fuck was it?
And that's where it told me, you know.
was it the
this is really
Batmobile
bad.
just going like in slow motion?
No, they
for
added
20
more.
minutes?
They added more characterization and depth to it, Don.
There you go.
So you understood the character's motivation.
You should bring it because I'm gonna watch Batman vs Superman again. I'm gonna watch it for a third time and see if it's as bad as it was.
We'll do the extended version.
Yeah,
The extended
I need the
version.
extra 20 minutes. So.
You do.
Yeah, that's what everybody tells me. So.
All right. Are we done here?
It's like everybody says that the director's cut of Daredevil is actually good.
No.
I don't know.
No, that's what I've heard from everybody.
There's no director's cut.
You have to. Yeah, there is. There's like an
There is an
there's
extended
like an
edition.
extended director's cut version of Daredevil.
There's no
And
amount you could add to that movie to
Everybody
make it better.
says that movie is good.
It's not good.
Actually, you know what? Electra was terrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's still not part of the Marvel.
That's not the
Universe.
cinematic. It depends if we're talking cinematic, if we're talking all Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Because then you got to do like that Fantastic Four movie that Richard Corben.
No, because it was never released.
But it was never truly released, though.
It's true. Well, the second Fantastic Four movie was horrible. The recent one. That was pretty bad. So was the first.
The third
The
one?
reboot one?
The reboot?
Oh, the reboot was horrible as well.
The reboot was actually
Actually,
not.
the thing with the reboot was you could it was good up until they did all those recuts to redo the ending, and that was bad. But the characterization and the build up on that was actually pretty good about the first half. And then it just totally fell off the rails.
I remember watching.
So here's the exact opposite of Wonder Woman. So I had so low expectations of that Fantastic Four movie that it wasn't that bad when you saw it. You're like, yeah, it was alright.
I don't know. The ending was so bad on that one.
It was pretty bad.
I mean, you're right. I would throw it into the mediocre camp, type things.
Exactly.
Because, like I said, the first half was good. The second half just was not good. But overall,
It just sucks that Justice League is going to make a ton of money.
they will. Yeah, and that's what I said. You guys better not see it at all because all us lemmings are going to be out there freaking following and giving them money and probably enjoying it.
It's fine.
Saying,
just
it's
make
so
another
funny,
one.
that line of blah, blah, blah.
Aquaman.
So, that was great.
Aquaman will be terrible.
Aquaman
Cyborg
ruled.
will be terrible.
Cyborg's in it?
He is in
Well,
it.
Cyborg's in it, but isn't he getting his own movie? I think
assume
Cyborg's getting his
so.
own
I
movie.
don't know, who knows.
To each
But
their own.
they pulled in Joss Whedon to finish off Justice League. Now, are they having him help out with more of the DC universe?
I'm sure.
Maybe see what happens. how
And
much money
maybe
they
it'll
throw.
be good.
Maybe it'll turn it around a little bit. Who knows?
Just don't let Bryan Singer touch it.
Bryan
Well,
Singer?
Bryan
Zack
Singer
Snyder.
did, but Zack Snyder's the one that's been having more of an influence. But
No, I understand that. I'm just saying don't let
You don't
Bryan
like Bryan
Singer
Singer, though,
touch
either?
You
the...
don't like Bryan Singer?
because Bryan Singer did the original X-Men, so
The
he
first
did a
two
good
X-Men
job.
were great. Then he
So-
left to go direct that crappy Superman movie.
Yeah.
And then he did the last... Did he do Apocalypse?
Yeah, he did the last.
He did.
He did the
Apocalypse?
But
Days
he,
of
also,
Future
but he
Past.
also did Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past. That was
It was
good.
good.
Yeah.
So.
Didn't like it.
Days of Future Past was good.
Wow. I'm just
Sorry.
man.
Dude, other than
Obviously, I'm never going to recommend a movie to you.
the first...
That-
The first
We have like the same
X-Men-
taste.
The
Whatever.
first X-Men reboot was great.
I think my taste must have dumbed down over the years. Or
The
something.
second one was still pretty good. I like those movies.
X-Men 1 and 2?
No, not X-Men 1 and 2.
The younger X-Men.
The
ones.
younger X-Men.
Oh, yeah.
X-Men
First
First
Class
Class
was
and Days
First
of Future
Class
Past
and Days of Future Past.
Days
I
of
guess
Future-
Days of Future Past was alright.
is fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that one better than even First Class.
I've only watched
I like
Age
that
of
First
Apocalypse
Class.
once. I need to go back.
Age
and
of
watch
Apocalypse.
it.
You
was
don't need to
hard to
watch
get
that
through.
again. Yeah.
Well, I bought it. I should at least
Okay.
watch it a second time.
I was disappointed with that one.
That
I think
was
that was
done.
because of how much probably I liked Days of Future Past.
I like Days of Future Past, but it was just, I don't know.
It was a little much, though, wasn't it? I don't know.
Something about it
Trying to
just
do-
rubbed me the wrong way. That maybe in that case it could have been because I like the comics so much.
The thing with Days of Future Past is the fact that opening sequence is so flipping great that it just set the stage for the rest of the film. And, sometimes it can be a little bit of a downer, but I don't know. I think that first opening scene pulled me in so much that I was like, I'm there watching this. And plus the fact, it had those young X-Men, whatever, James McAvoy, Jennifer Lawrence,
Yeah.
they do such a great job in those roles that easily could forgive, other missteps there. And Hugh Jackman back, type stuff.
I did like First
Wolverine
Class quite a bit.
is,
Oh, yeah, that one
Hugh
was
Jackman.
good.
So.
But I still almost wish they would just stop making X-Men movies at X2.
No. Then you wouldn't have had First Class. And First Class is
I know.
just great.
It just feels like a reboot though.
It was,
Yeah.
in a lot of ways. But they got to keep making money on that
That's right.
property that they bought, So.
I guess.
Alright, I'm done.
Alright, I'm done too.
Yay.
Alright, thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks for listening to us destroy